When I think of a skin tint stick, I think of something that's easy, blendable, blurring, and lightweight as an alternative to foundation. And now that it's the start of summer, they seem like the perfect complexion product for hot and humid weather. But finding the right shade is nearly impossible since one brand has a limited shade range that claims to be universal and the other doesn't offer testers. So in my attempt to find the perfect shade, I ended up with 4 sticks altogether. If you're a fair olive like me and you're pursuing a skin tint stick, this video is for you. So grab a drink, settle in, and let's get started. Let's talk about skin prep first. I have my moisturizer on along with my SPF, and I've also used a blurring primer with a bit of slip. So the specific one that I used is the YSL Touche Éclat Blur Primer. And of course, you don't have to use anything super expensive. Any blurring primer with a bit of slip is ideal. I have used it with the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder, but they are not compatible. So I have 2 of the Fenty, what are these called? Eaze Drop Blur and Smooth Tint Sticks in both 1 and 2. So on the website, when you're looking at this product specifically, there is a chart to tell you which shade of the skin tint stick is best for you. My shade in the Pro Filter Powder Foundation is 130. And then also in the Soft Lit Foundation, I'm both a 120 and 30. So based on that chart, it told me to start with number 1. I've tried number 1, it wasn't the best match, and I got number 2, and it was just a bit too dark. And both of these are just slightly the wrong tone. So I'm more of an olive leaning towards the warm side of the spectrum. So my skin goes a little bit more on the yellow side. Whereas these are neutral and they lean towards the neutral to rosy side. At least that's what it pulls on my skin. And for Milani, I have the Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint Stick in 2 and 3. This one right here is 2, and then this one right here is 3. Looks like I have foundation sticks for eyeballs. But yeah, that might be a bit difficult to see. 2 and 3 are pretty close. So I originally started off with 2 because I figured 1 looked a little bit too light and 3 looked just a little bit too dark, but I wasn't sure. So I figured 2 would be a good starting point. And so that's what I started off with. And then I've used it a few times and noticed that it was just slightly too light. So I ended up with number 3, and that was a decent match in my opinion. And I'll show you what that looks like on my skin. But first, we're gonna do hand swatches so that you can see them side by side. So right here, I have Fenty number 2. And then right here, I have Fenty number 1. As you can see, there's a pretty big disparity between the 2 shades. But anyways, that's what it looks like. And let me put the Milani on right beside it. Okay, so I have Milani number 3 right here. And then I have Milani number 2 on this side right here. So again, this is Fenty number 2, Fenty number 1, Milani number 3, Milani number 2. So for the Fenty side, again, there is a pretty big disparity between the 2, even though this is 1 and 2. And then for these 2 right here, this is number 3, this is number 2. There is a bit of a difference, but the disparity isn't as big as the Fenty side. Okay, so it's now time to swatch the sticks on my face, and as you can see, I've already done my eyebrows and my eye makeup, but I haven't done the rest of my face, and that's because I will be swatching all 4 of the skin tint sticks on this side of my face, so that you can see the shade range between all 4 sticks. Okay, so let's start off with Fenty number 1. So now we're gonna do Fenty number 2. Now we're gonna do Milani number 3. And now we're gonna do Milani number 2. All right, so that is all 4 shades swatched. So Milani number 3 seems to be the best match. So I'm gonna go with that and apply the rest of my makeup with that shade. I just wiped all of that off with the makeup wipe and reapplied my sunscreen and also my primer. And we're gonna go in with Milani number 3. Let's dive right in. And I'm gonna use a foundation brush. And then once I've completed putting on this first layer all over my face, I'm gonna assess and see if a second layer is needed. So that is the first layer done on one cheek, and I'm gonna do the other side now. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more just to see if I can cover my redness. Okay, I'm just gonna do my forehead quickly. Okay, so to target the under eyes, I'm going to use a concealer brush and dip that into the stick itself. I'm just gonna blend it out on the back of my hand, and then I'm just gonna go in. And I'm gonna take a dry sponge, and I'm gonna work that underneath my eye. And then I'm gonna take whatever is left on my brush and I'm going to feather it down my neck. All right, so this is the face done with the Skin Tint Stick. So I'm gonna go ahead and powder my face and I'll show you what that looks like, and then I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup, so I'll be right back. And hot tip, if your Skin Tint Stick comes with a cap, go ahead and replace that cap into the stick before you close it up. Okay, so I have powdered my base really well. And if you're wondering what I'm using the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder in the shade Pound Cake. So I've applied that all over my face generously because it's hot in here. And I just wanted to show you what the complexion looks like with both the skin tint on and the powder. And everything looks really good. The only nitpicky criticism that I have is that it looks a little crepey under the eyes, and that's pretty much the only issue that I'm having. It looks fantastic around the nose. So I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup off camera, and when I come back, I will give you my final thoughts. Now that I have my full face of makeup done, let's talk about these Skin Tint Sticks. So application for all 4 Skin Tint Sticks was very easy, especially when I was swatching them on the side of my cheek, and both formulas feel practically identical, very smooth, very buttery, and I'm sure using the right primer does help with that as well. There is no fragrance for all 4 sticks, which is such a plus if you're sensitive to fragrances. I like how the packaging of the Milani Skin Tint Sticks reflects the color on the inside as well, so it's really easy to pick it out. Whereas the Fenty Beauty Skin Tint Sticks all look similar. You can kind of see the color peek through on the bottom, but luckily they also do have the appropriate shade sticker on the bottom. And all of them are very travel friendly because of that packaging as well. Now, I did mention before that if your skin tint stick comes with a little cap, don't throw this away. You want to replace this cap every time you use it so it prevents it from drying out. All right, so let's talk about deciding between the two. If you're on the fair, neutral, rosy side, I highly recommend the Fenty Beauty Skin Tint Sticks. The only thing is that the shade disparity between 1 and 2 is quite large. As you can see from the swatches, number 1 and number 2 look very different. So if you are a shade in between, you might have to get both shades. And if you are on the fair neutral to golden olive side, then the Milani Skin Tint Sticks are best for you because I find that the shade range on the Milani side leans a bit more golden olive. So for me personally, because I am a fair olive on the warm side, the Milani stick is much better suited for my skin tone. And yeah, it does suck that if you are on the rosier side, you do have to invest a little bit more money to get the correct shade. But if you are going for the skin tint sticks, luckily at Sephora, there are testers available, whereas Milani is a drugstore brand, so most of the time, and I don't think I've ever seen testers available for the skin tint sticks. It is a bit of a gamble, hence why I've created this video. And if you're stuck with a bunch of colors like I am, you can always put those darker and lighter shades to use. So for example, the Fenty stick in number 2, this one was a bit on the rosier side for me. I would consider using this as more of a color corrector, especially for my upper lip. I do have darker hair follicles, which gives my upper lip a bit of a green tint. So using a pinkier shade does help to neutralize that. So there is still a use for my darker stick. And for my lighter 2 sticks, so that would be Fenty in number 1 and Milani in number 2, I can use these to brighten the center portion of my face. So these will not go to waste. And also I anticipate being a little bit more fair during the winter time. So these might be an excellent alternative for a cooler season shade for me. And now you've reached the end of the Fenty versus Milani Skin Tint Stick video. If you're still here, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I hope this was helpful in your pursuit of finding the perfect skin tint stick shade. In the comments below, let me know which shade would work best for you, or if you found the perfect shade, let me know the shade number. If you want more makeup related content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And thanks for being here. This was a lot of fun, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.